All right, what's up? Welcome back to welcome to Gesture Drawing Part 2. As you can see, I already have some things lined up here. And I would much rather for this second lesson, instead of you watching me draw, explain a few things. That's why I chose these poses in general. And I'm going to turn this down a little bit because I'm going to redraw them and explain them pose by pose because I think it'll help you. And yes, I did get these from How to Draw Comics the Marvel Way. I think that you should draw your poses from animation, from movies, if there's some of those books that you got laying around. And that's the reason why I used this book for this particular lesson, is because these are books that a lot of artists own. And it's like getting that anatomy book where you're like, oh, this is the anatomy book that's finally going to have me get it. I'm finally going to be the anatomy artist that I want to be, or the artist that I want to be. And you get it home, and then pretty soon it just collects dust on the shelf, and you've learned nothing really new. So, and that's the biggest reason why I'm trying to do the lessons in the order that I'm doing them. Before you can get to the point where you're drawing full on anatomy, there's some things that you gotta get out of the way. This is, like I said, this is not the sexy stuff. This is the hard work. This is the behind the scenes, the special DVD features or whatever. So I'm going to start here with an action line, and I'm going to put the head right in the front here. And by the way, when you're drawing, you should kind of keep it a little bit lighter. But I'm just drawing this darker so that it can come up on the screen a lot better. I'm drawing this line right here for um, this is the trunk, or the torso, I'm sorry. And right behind here, if you notice, I'm just kind of going behind here. And then the line of the shoulder, instead of me putting it straight across this way, it's going at an angle. And I just did this to show that there's movement here, but actually it's going to come more like this. So we're looking at the torso, it's coming across, that's the head, and it's like this because the torso is facing this way. And then I just put this underneath. And so now we're going to draw like a little line here to anchor where the two joints are going to meet. So I'm doing this. I'm sorry, this goes right here. I'm just drawing a line straight across here to kind of give myself an idea. This isn't, none of this stuff is set in stone. And so I'm drawing right here. Remember I said to keep the knee right here. And I'm drawing this angle right here, but I'm making it shorter. And then I'm drawing this little concept here for the foot. So since sometimes I'll do this because I remember that this is the outside arch of the foot. But the reason why I drew this so short is because because that is going to represent the foreshortening, and that's kind of a little bit about what this is, what the second part of the gesture drawing is about. So this would translate to, here is the thigh, this is the knee, and then I can take this, and this is kind of me building a mannequin, and I got this right here. And then, of course, we would put the foot right here. And so this is kind of representing that awkward angle. This actually is going to be hanging over a little bit more. I know this isn't perfect, but I'm just trying to give you the idea of that's why I'm drawing things short. And this right here, this representation of this line, it's not perfect. It's not going to be at this stage of the drawing because we can always clean up the line a little bit, because eventually how I would normally draw this is this right here, and I would be trying to work out the exact angle, and I would try to in some way make sure that I have this, so it would be a lot more like that. That doesn't even look correct. But this is one of my, I don't know, maybe it's one of my sucky drawing days, but it's okay. But I think you get the general idea here. So let us move on. And so the other side of here is I want to put this over here. This is the thigh. This is the knee, and I just want to keep this little line going. And I'm drawing the outside of the calf. And so we have this. Now, all I'm doing is filling in the parts of the line here. I'm just drawing this arm straight across, and then I'm going to put this one back, not quite that far back. And so that's the first pose. And so this pose over here is just kind of, you know, we got the little action line. I think I do draw the head first a little bit. And it's kind of difficult for me to sometimes to not go forward in things, because I'm trying to teach everyone as if they don't know how to draw anything. And I don't mean that as an insult, but I want to teach you from the beginning. And so the reason why I drew this, chose this pose, is because this is that pose to where your arm can be behind, but it's covered up by the chest, and then you see that hand coming out this way. And so this is the fist. This is maybe a gun or something in the person's hand. They're looking up. And this right here, this is not one of my favorite poses, because rarely is a human being ever doing something where they have their hand clenched at their side. But the most important thing about this pose is that I stopped right here, because this is going to be inside of a panel. And so I don't have to worry about all this down here. I don't have to worry about that. That's not important to me, because that's not effective of me telling the story. So this pose right here, this is that little worm's eye view shot right here. I'm going to draw this. And what I'm doing, see, I got the head right here. I'm drawing underneath. And this is the eye line. And since this is on top, okay, and this is the other reason why I drew this. This character is holding a staff or something. So what I want to do is line this up. I want to put in the shoulders. I want to draw the hands next, and then I want to do this so that it looks correct. Now I'm putting this in first because this right here, I got this weird angle from this book. Not really weird, but it is a worm's eye view where this character for some reason is like this. And here's the knee. And here's the foot down here. And I'm just drawing this as a curve. So let me explain a little bit about this pose right here. As I said, this is when you're holding a weapon. When you're holding a weapon, or you're holding something that's two-handed like a staff or a sword, draw the hand placement first to make sure that you get it to line up right. Draw the shoulders, then you can always draw the arms in. And we know that this is going to be a little bit of foreshortening here. And this is going to be the shoulder. This is going to come out this way. But I also drew this, the torso, first, because then I know where things are going. Then when I get ready to put in the legs for the mannequin, then I know that this is, for the most part, going to be correct. And sometimes you could do this. This is what I like to do as well. I don't always have to draw it like this. I can actually just draw these, representing these as a straight line, as two straight lines running parallel. And down here, I drew the head first. This is that coming at you kind of pose. Where we got one hand in front, and this is that big fist. And I'll show you how to do some foreshortening later on. But right now, at this stage of the game, I don't want you to worry about foreshortening. We're not going to do too much of that right away because I want to get you to draw your mannequin properly. So check this out. So we got the torso. I know you understand that. And I got the knee right here. Now I drew the knee first because I know that here is where the ball joints are attached. I'm drawing the thigh right here. This is another one of those weird foreshortening things. And to be honest with you, I got to go back over my foreshortening to really explain it to you properly. And here is the idea of the foot. So what this means is that this right here is going to take up most of the space. This knee right here, this is going to be covering up a lot of the thigh. And so I want to make sure that I got this. This is pronounced. You're not going to be able to see most of the thigh in a shot like this because the knee is covering up. It's going a little bit more forward than that. Then I can't talk this morning. The knee is going to be seen more. Like this right here, the fist is pretty much covering up the forearm. You're going to be able to see a little bit of the bicep and the shoulder, obviously, but that fist is a lot closer. So since it's bigger, it's covering up more things. And if you had, and if I turned it this way, and then put some sort of weapon here, it's the crappiest looking weapon I've ever seen. But imagine this being the barrel of a gun. And so if this, all of this right here is a hand holding a gun, then you're not going to be able to see any of the arm. You're not going to really see the shoulder. But I would say don't use this kind of shot to cover up your mistakes. Work through your mistakes. As you see me right now working through my mistakes as I'm teaching this, because another reason for me doing these videos is that since I started doing them, I started to really get back into my drawing a lot more than I thought I was going to get back into. And now I have to explain things to people, which I love. I like the fact that I'm not allowed to just... I've seen other DVDs of certain people that are claiming that they, if they make a mistake, they cover it up with something. To me, that's just weak. I mean, I'm sorry, but it's weak. If you're a professional artist, you have the time to... That's your job. So it is always... You always want to hone your craft and get better at it. I write primarily, but since I'm doing these, I'm drawing a whole lot more. I'm just kind of putting a little line right here. So this is a pose that I found, and I looked at it, and I thought that it seemed a little goofy to me, but it's okay because it's drawn by an artist much greater than I am. So I tried to reproduce it, but it's that drawing a kick out this way. I don't know if I would use this, and the reason why I did this, if you notice, I just put a mannequin over on top of it. But I think if this were kicking someone, I would draw it at a much different angle, perhaps, or maybe not. And the final one right here, and it's pretty much similar to this, but I just want to draw this in for you to show you once we get ready to do the mannequin. Once we get ready to do the mannequin, then when you get started on that, you'll be doing this when you're doing your quick sketches, or some variation of this. And I don't I'm going to teach you how to draw several mannequins, and the concept behind them is as I understand it. And that's the only thing that I can do, is give you the concepts as I understand them. I by no means am claiming to be a master artist, but the one thing that I can do, and you could see I mess up on this. I'm going to correct this right now, because when we correct things, When we correct things, I need to move this up. That's what's going on here. This is way too small. Let's do it this way. When we are correcting things, then that helps us work through the problems that we had. And it makes us better as creators, better as artists. And it makes you a stronger artist. And so I think what gave me a lot of problems is that sometimes when you're drawing a pose, maybe the placement of the leg here wasn't working out for me. Let's try this. I think that looks a lot better. Yeah, I think it looks a lot better. I drew the torso a little bit longer, but that's okay. That could be remedied. And I got to remember that these are 3D spaces. So on this arm over here, it still doesn't quite look right to me. And I can always go ahead. Let's go ahead and fix that right now. Let's not wait, because you may be running into the same problems as well. And I don't know what kind of pose this is, by the way. Let's see right here. And I think I like this a lot better. Sometimes you get a pose that's just not working. This looks a little bit better. Let's put a little bit more punch into this. My biggest reason for showing you all of my mistakes, I'm going to draw a circle right here, is, like I said, to let you know that even though you see someone drawing and they draw really good, oh, this is what's wrong, I just figured it out, the arm is way too big. I'm not even paying attention to what's going on with, that's what's wrong. Friggin' arm is too big. There, that's much better. The reason why I want to show you all the mistakes that I'm making is because let you know that as an artist you are making mistakes, and this is about problem solving. And the reason why I didn't get too much into muscular anatomy here is because, well, this character might be wearing a coat or some kind of robe or something. And so you don't need to know every little intricate part of the muscle here. If you're going to put this character in some clothing, you know, all of this right here, this is why when I show you the mannequin, I'm going to show you some basic muscle shape, but I'm not going to get too much into the anatomy as far as every single muscle goes, is because you want some variety into your figures. So here's my homework for everybody who's thinking about it. Like I said, go back, look at those books that you already own. Look at some of the stuff that you thought was kind of useless and go back and just redraw those poses and try to change them up a little bit. Grab your favorite manga or anime, especially anything animated, and draw those poses. Go step by step, like literally, you know, take the DVD player, or if you got it on demand, and just pause it. Pause it, draw what you see, pause it, draw the action scenes, draw the scenes where someone's sitting down. And just keep doing these poses over and over again. Make that part of your daily routine, is to maybe just get 10 poses in. And by the way, when you draw, you have to warm up. It's just like any other. These are exercises. And the more that you do them, the better that you will become. And I really, really hope that you guys, if you learned something, that you subscribe. Please ask any questions that you may have. Because this series is only gonna, I guess, get bigger. The next thing that I'm going to do is, I think that I'm either gonna do, they're both gonna get done, but either I'm gonna release the mannequin, do the mannequin lesson next, or what I'm going to do is draw the head in 3D space, because we've all seen. I'm just going to clear this right now, and I'm going to give you an example of what I'm talking about, because this is another one of those things that drive me crazy. We've all seen people that, this is how you draw the human head. You put this in half, and you make this in half right here, and then they give you the whole 5 lines across, and your eyes are in the middle right here, and then half of this is your nose, and then this is your mouth, and then you find yourself having to readjust the chin, which is fine. Then they draw that side view, and they draw the side view, and and I'm just doing this really, really quickly just to give you. And then it's like, okay, you're done. You're ready to do that. Well, what if you want to draw your character in different angles? This is fine, and this is accurate. Or what if you want to draw an overweight person or a skinny person? Or what if you want to draw a lot more variety? That's what my drawing the head lesson is going to be about. And not only that, I'm going to teach you how to move the character in 3D space. So if you want to draw this angle right here, you'll be able to do that with little or no problem, because it's not quite as hard as you think it is. Or if you want to draw that top-down view like this, and I'm just mocking this up really quickly. If you want to be able to draw that top-down view of your character, and I'm just kind of drawing a hairline here. If you want to be able to do that, then that's what that lesson is going to be about. So, and we're going to do that in a little bit of variety too. So I hope you guys stay tuned. I hope you subscribe, and I hope you help me spread the word if you feel like you're learning something. These lessons are always free. I'm never going to hold anything back from you. And by the way, if there's something that you want to learn how to draw, please let me know. And drop me a line or whatever, and let me know if it's something that you really want to learn how to draw. Maybe you kind of suck at drawing animals. I'm not the greatest at drawing animals, but I will learn just for you, because I think drawing is pretty much the same. I have a method of drawing that helps me kind of draw anything. So I hope you enjoyed this. Take care.